Hey, when it comes time to start your outreach to private equity, it's not as easy or as straightforward as you might think. There are 5,000 private equity groups in North America. There could be as many as 160,000 private equity backed executives. So it's a large market. The first step is to figure out how to narrow that huge market down to what's most relevant to you. Only you can determine which industries are relevant, and therefore you can eliminate a large number of private equity groups that do not invest in those industries. Secondly, if you've worked in an EBITDA range of 50 million or higher, for example, well, the world is your oyster because you can work in that range all the way down to private equity groups that invest in companies with, say, 2 million of EBITDA because you're still relevant. But if you've only worked in companies with, say, 2 to 5 million of EBITDA, you're limited to those private equity groups. So focus, develop a list of those private equity groups. But it's not just the private equity groups that are relevant to you. It's also within the private equity group, it could be an operating partner, board member, deal team member, head of talent if they exist. Um, Within a portfolio company, maybe the CEO is relevant as a stakeholder. And then beyond that, there's executive recruiters and what I call centers of influence, or those people that are on the periphery that are serving the private equity ecosystem. All of those people need to know you and then trust you before they can like you. And those are the three steps that have to happen before you're really even relevant and considered. Relationships matter in private equity. It's unlikely that a cold email that includes an attachment of a resume is going to get you anywhere. So how do you develop that know, like, trust? Well, you're going to have to start developing content. And the best way to do that is to create an outline of all the different types of content flowing from the top and expanding further down. We can discuss this one on one if you'd like. But the point is, you have to have a campaign in which you're um, imparting your words of wisdom, your experience, your brand proposition to those stakeholders and centers of influence in hopes that when there is an opportunity that lands in their lap, they say, who is that guy or who is that woman who just sent me something about this very topic just last week? And I know I've gotten a lot from her. And so I know she knows her way around this market and this particular situation. Now I'm just going to have to go back and figure out who that was, but she'd be a good person to interview for this job. That's what you're trying to accomplish. And so it does require a bit of effort, but you have to have a process for doing that. We're here to help.